I thought Caleb took a few steps forward. Wasn't perfect. The first interception can happen. I don't care if you're getting your O-lineman pushed into your lap. That looks like it's going to be a recurring theme for the Bears, unfortunately. I get it. There's his left tackle getting pushed into his lap again, but that can't happen. And maybe that's just a rookie quarterback trying to do too much. You see young quarterbacks making silly mistakes all across this league, week in and week out. Feet were a mess. I mean, there's just you got to eat it. You've got to eat that. The first interception cannot happen.
That was the good thing.
No, I'm saying it wasn't perfect.
I got you.
I'm saying like plays like that make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing to come out of yesterday's game was Caleb took some important steps forward, especially in that second half. The ball is coming out. He's top 10 right now in quickest release time. He's not holding the ball. Ball's coming out. I'm a little surprised at some of the inaccuracies on like one-on-one deep throw, deep shot. Opportunities.
Overthrowing guys by 20 feet.
Yeah, like you're not even giving your guys a shot sometimes.
He did get a Doonsay, right? He got a Doonsay in the one play that went down to the 35. That was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Then I think he opened up the second half with a nice ball also.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about some of the inaccuracies there, but like the ball's coming out. He threw for 363 yards. That's not going to surprise you that is the most by far for a Bears rookie in franchise history. That is by far the most. The previous record was Mitch in 18 year. Or no, I guess that would have been 17 was Mitch's rookie year. 314 yards. So Caleb sets a franchise record. It's the most yards, I think, of any quarterback so far passing in the league this season, actually. They had to throw it a lot, obviously, because they can't run the ball to save their lives. So I thought there were some positives that come out of yesterday. The silly interception aside, that was a really poor decision. I'd say that was the good. That Caleb took some steps forward. The rest of this nonsense with this offense, I mean, let's have at it. The Bears ran a whopping 84 plays. And one thing Jurko identified last week looking at the matchup was, boy, he said, take a look at how little Indy's had the ball the first couple of weeks. Indy only had the ball about 19 minutes a game. In this game, they only had it for about 25 minutes.
Right.
The Bears ran 84 plays to Indy's 54. So that disparity that you talked about was evident. The Bears had 11 more first downs. They had 11 more minutes time of possession. They were better on third down. They had a better series success rate for the game. They outgained the Colts by nearly 100 yards, but they had 3 turnovers to Indy's 2. They lose the battle. They lose the game. The Bears had a whopping 84 plays. That is the most that they've run in a regular season game in 25 years. They didn't even average 5 yards per play. They were at 4.7. The Bears are dead last in the NFL in yards per play. They're bottom 5 in scoring percentage right now. And the overall overarching problems of an offense that's this offense isn't averaging 17 points a game. Throw out 2 of the scores in week 1. There was a special team score and a defensive score. When you look at what the offense has provided in terms of points per game, it's paltry. And it's really bad right now.
I put the onus on the offensive line. I needed a better running game, and I need the offensive line to protect better. They're not providing anything of a running game. There is no running game right now for the Chicago Bears. And that's sad state of affairs. I was happy when they decided just to chuck the football in the second half.
I think
it did Caleb Williams a little bit of good.
Yeah.
To get back there and just start firing the ball. And I know they may have softened up a little bit when they got a 21, then what was it, 9 lead, 21 to...
No, it was...
3 lead. What was the lead that they had?
No.
It was 21-3, right?
No.
16-3,
Yeah.
14-3. 14-3 lead.
Yes.
They may have softened up their defense, the Indianapolis Colts, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. But allow the quarterback to get back there, hit the back foot and fire. Hit the back foot and fire. Hit the back foot and fire. And it wasn't always great. It wasn't, it's one pass was tipped and one pass was in front of the receiver. They blamed the receiver for slowing down. Roma Dunze, they blamed him for slowing down.
Do you agree with that?
But the defensive, no.
No? Okay.
The defensive back had cut the angle off. And I think Caleb threw the ball far enough away from the defensive back where the only person that might have made the catch would have been Roma Dunze. But when you make the corner and you turn the corner, sometimes you're a receiver, you go, don't throw the ball to me because I got a guy deep and I got a guy shallow on me, and there's really no window to throw the ball to me. That's the one that went off the safety's hand. But I like the fact that Caleb was getting back and getting a feeling of what an NFL offense should look like. Yeah. Guys like Matt Stafford, when he gets back, that back foot hits, that ball's gone.
Yeah.
And it's a series of 10-yard throws that get you down the field.
Yep.
Then if a guy on your team and gets away from a tackle, that 10-yard game becomes a 20-yard game. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the way the NFL usually ends up moving. Every blue moon, you're going to pop a bomb on somebody. And you're going to get it back there, and your receiver's going to stay on his feet, and he's going to be able to go ahead and finish off the next 35 yards for you.
Won the Rams the game yesterday.
I like that. I was upset with the defense.
Really?
And you can play 44 great plays and have 4 absolute garbage plays.
They probably had
and
4.
the 4 absolute garbage plays are the ones that I'm going to remember.
They probably had 4 garbage plays. You're right.
And the defense is good, and it was matched up against the offensive line of the other team, which is pretty good.
It is good.
One of the top 5 offensive lines in the league. That's what an offensive line looks like.
Yes.
If anybody wants to go take a gander at what an offensive line looks like.
Yeah, their quarterback's
Yeah,
killing them right
what-
now.
oh,
Let's face it.
absolutely killing them.
That kid's killing them.
Yes.
And now, look, he's only started like 10 games in this league, and I think they'll be maybe slightly more patient, but Anthony Richardson is killing the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, he is.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
I mean, that is the inaccuracy is staggering. And now, it was an issue coming out of college, so I can't say it's surprising.
What about the one he floated up in the air? Like he threw with so much air underneath, allowed Bider to come back.
That should have been an easy
and
completion.
make it, that should have been a completion and a half.
It's terrible.
And
He's
it allowed
killing
the
them.
Bears to stay in that thing. Here's what they did positively. There's a turnover early in the game. They took it all the way down to the 5. Edmonds came up with the interception.
Right.
So they resulted in 0 points for the Indianapolis Colts. Bears gave up nothing. They needed more of that. Believe it or not, you're relying upon your defense to be able to keep you in games and minimize the scoring that the offense is going to do on the other team, especially when they start turning the ball over in plus territory on the Chicago Bears. At the 16, I thought they were going to be able to hold them a field goal. They didn't. I don't think they handled sudden change well. There's a 3-yard, 4-play, 7-yard drive. Mm-hmm. One big pass play on a guy that should never be able to complete pass plays on you. Was Gordon there yesterday? I had to go look for Gordon. Was Gordon playing yesterday?
Yeah, he was.
Gordon was on the field?
He was on
All
the
right.
field.
Well, the way he played the first 2 games is the way I would expect him to play for the rest of the season, and I didn't quite see it. TJ Edwards was manhandled.
Yeah.
He was manhandled. They were getting second level, and he was getting manhandled.
Wasn't good.
That's the way it looked. And I love them.
That said, they gave up 21 points.
I love them. That's right. They
You
only
know,
gave up
and like
21 points.
this defense
But
continues to kind of put the
when-
Bears in
when
position.
You've got
but
an offense that struggles. The defense has got to be able to play well.
You gotta be
They
even
held
better.
them out 1-0, and then they gave up 7, 7, and 7.
Yeah, you're right
And
about
giving
that.
up the touchdowns is not good.
The problems in the run game, and I totally agree with you.
You've got an average punter that you wasted a 4th round.
All right,
pick
we'll get
on.
to that later,
No,
maybe.
it's got to be pointed out every single week. He's an average punter. That's what he is. Whatever Bill of Sale or whatever he showed the world is not there.
maybe he'll figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the least of my concerns.
Just has to
but
be pointed out.
yeah.
But the arrogance to draft a 4th rounder and not say my team is complete.
I don't even know if it's arrogance.
My
It's
team
dumb.
is complete. My team is complete. I am so complete on my team. There's nowhere I can add to on this
It's
dominating football team, this Super Bowl contender.
Please, we don't
My
need to.
ass.
We don't need to anymore. I mean, it's just silly.
All right, but the point is, the point's got to be made.
The point I'm going to make is something
all the
I agree with
idiots,
you.
and all the
All
idiots
right,
tell
I
me
know.
how
I
great he is.
understand. What I think annoyed us so much in the spring were the sycophantic Bear fans that were telling us how brilliant of a move it was, and we don't know what we're talking about. I mean, drafting a punter. My God. Please.
That being
people.
said,
anyway.
I still got him winning 11 games. That being said, I still have the Bears winning 11
You're
games.
giving me confidence because it's one of my bets that I'm a little worried about.
Can I tell you why?
I'm real worried about my Browns over. I'm a little worried about my Bears over.
Can I tell you why?
Well, okay.
I'm going to trade this Indianapolis loss for a Bears victory against the Packers at home.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go.
But the Packers look good.
That's my trade, though.
Okay.
That's the trade. That's the one victory that can nullify the stench of what happened last week.
I don't feel like terrible about my Bears over wager. So I had a few I was going to talk to you about today with 3 games in the books. Some of my futures plays. The Bears, I'm like, okay, I don't know if they'll get to 11. I never thought they'd get to 11. I just need them to get to 9.
We've got a ton of calls that we're going to obviously have to address here.
Yes,
Here's
lots.
mine. I bet you Baltimore wins the division in the NFC North.
Oh boy, really? Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll make that bet today
They
at
can't,
whatever the odds are.
They can't close a game
Today,
I mean,
I'll make that bet today. Baltimore wins the NFC North. I'll make the bet today.
I think John Harbaugh is a really good coach. I think we've always said that. They have more blown leads of 10 points or more than any other team in football the last 3 seasons.
And
And
the
at
Chicago
one,
Bears are number 2.
and at one point, if you were watching yesterday in the final 3 or 4 minutes, John Harbaugh on the sideline looked concerned, befuddled. And that's not the look of a grizzled veteran, potential future Hall of Fame head coach. The look on John Harbaugh's face was, we're going to do this again. I don't know, man. And maybe you're right. I have no position on the Baltimore Ravens. I don't really care one way or another.
Either do I, but I'll make that declaration
I don't know if I want to bet anything on them. And I'll tell you one thing. I will not be betting on the Baltimore Ravens. Like yesterday was a pick 'em basically, or the Baltimore Ravens -1. You're basically picking the game. To make a wager right now on the Ravens to cover by margin, if they're laying 3 or more in any game, I think you got to be out of your mind. I don't think they can close a football game all of a sudden. I have no idea what's going on there.
Of course, not the wager I'm making.
No, I know. I'll check the updated odds for you. But what you said that I totally agreed with was the fact that they pretty much had to abandon the run because it's obvious to them they can't do it.
Yeah, they don't have it.
You got to get that fixed. You can't go all season saying we have no answers. Somehow, some way, whether it be scheme, personnel, more carries for Roschon and Herbert and less for Swift, whatever it is, you better figure it out. This is week 3. It's September. You're not getting to 11 wins or a playoff berth if you can't run the ball at some point this year. I'm sorry, Yerk.
Give me one guy you want to give the ball 18 times a day.
Yeah, you might have to.
Give me one
that
guy.
might be it.
One guy.
And so I want to talk to you more about that today, this week, as we go along. At some point here, this is incumbent upon that coaching staff to figure out what are we going to do scheme-wise to make this look better and to make our ground game somewhat feasible. Because there's just no way. You could forget about 11 wins if you have to abandon it every week and think that your rookie quarterback is just going to deliver. I mean, it's not going to happen. Their inability against a team that was awful stopping the run the first 2 weeks is very, very alarming. And I want to continue. It's telling. It's alarming. But I think you made the best point.
It's damning.
Anybody that wants to complain they abandoned the run, yeah, you think?
Damning.
Were you watching the game?
Yeah.
They had no choice but to abandon the run.
They abandoned the run.
And so, but now you've got to fix it. Okay, in the moment yesterday, you had no choice. Now you've got to fix it. The Bears had 28 carries yesterday for 63 yards. Again, against a team that's just been chewed alive in its first 2 on the ground. 2.3 yards per attempt. 2.3. The Colts were surrendering 5.1 going in. The Bears' long rush yesterday was 9 yards. Their rush attempts generated negative 0.36 EPA per play. That's the 12th percentile. Their success rate was in the 4th percentile. Roschon and Herbert both averaged more yards per attempt than Swift. Each generated a better EPA per play on their rush attempts. Don't want to put it all on DeAndre Swift, but if, like Jurko said, if you're looking for a guy that maybe needs to touch it 15 to 18 a game and you want to start leaning on one guy, go back to the guy that's been successful for you the last couple of years. I don't know why you felt like you had to change anything. Khalil Herbert, go to Roschon Johnson, whom you've drafted last year. Not much of what happened down on the goal line, I don't think, was Swift's fault on the speed option play. That wasn't on DeAndre Swift. That had no chance.
Who your running back was.
It had no chance. If we could have had Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah. Whoever your running back was back there.
Because of your offensive line.
No shot in hell. No shot in hell.
I put the picture on Instagram and on my Twitter on X at Carmen DeFalco and at Carmen DeFalco 5 on Instagram. And the video's up there of Jurko kind of walking us through that play earlier. But when your center, your left guard, and your left tackle are, the left tackle's face is planted in the turf.
So
it's ugly.
So you call a play and the defense does something, you have to adjust off what the defense does on the fly. His block was 44. That's who he was supposed to get. 94, this guy getting option. 94 comes slamming down.
That was Lewis.
And goes 94.
Yes.
That's Lewis for the other team.
Lewis, yeah. Who made the play on the third down play, crashing into DeAndre Carter.
He comes crashing in off the corner again.
Right. At
that point, Braxton Jones got to realize, all right, he's an immediate threat. I have to eliminate him. 44 becomes the option guy. I got to saw this guy in half, take him to the ground. Okay, and then 44 becomes the guy that the quarterback has to option off. Now, your left guard whiffed on the play. Your center whiffed on the play. So your left guard and your center whiffed on the play. Braxton Jones didn't realize he needed to make an adjustment on the fly. He was left after getting pummeled. 44 now is outside of him, trying to chase 44 down. Now you got 44, 94.
Guess who made
the defensive tackle and the defensive tackle. All four of them are hell bent for election. There are no options for DeAndre Swift but to go outside. So it's not DeAndre Swift's fault that everybody on the offensive line failed miserably.
I don't necessarily like the call, but when it's executed as poorly as the Bears executed it, what do you suppose? You can't call plays or play offense in this league. Go back and look at that still frame, and Jurko just explained it to you.
Yeah.
You can't play offense in this league if that's what your O-line's going to give you. You just can't.
You can't be a successful running back.
No.
Running backs are dependent upon the offensive line. Then we pointed out the Jonathan Taylor touchdown, the 28-yard run.
Yeah.
What T.J. Edwards was doing, only the Lord knows.
Don't know.
Only the Lord knows.
What DeMarcus Walker was doing.
DeMarcus Walker.
I don't know.
I've never seen somebody like getting blocked 11 yards down the field.
I don't know.
The way DeMarcus Walker did. He had turned his back on the play and he was gallivanting like he was running in a field of lilies. Like he was bouncing through a field of lilies. Look, I'm being blocked. I have no idea where the running back is. I'll just keep my back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, somebody is shoving me from behind. Oh, such a comfortable feeling for me as I hop through the lilies in the fields. What the hell was he doing, Carmen?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, my God.
But the bigger issue I have, worse than what was the fourth down play to me, and I'm going to play the reaction from the CBS guys on that in a second, but was the third down play. And, it's easy to say the day after. Matt Eberflus talked about it today. Yeah, well, Shane and I looked at it. You need to look at the play the day after to know that DeAndre Carter
was outmanned,
who's listed at 5'8", 190, shouldn't be blocking a defensive end that is 6'3", 270. You need to look at the tape to tell you that that's a bad play call. That's on Shane Waldron. I didn't love the fourth down play, but okay. Maybe that's not as much on Shane Waldron. They said it was perfect for the personnel grouping and the look they had. It worked in practice. When your offensive lineman whiff, it looks bad. Having DeAndre Carter block a guy that has 80 or 90 pounds on him is not a good idea. That's where your offensive coordinator is putting your players in a position to fail.
Yeah, he almost tackled the running back with his back because 94 drove him all the way.
94 threw the Bears player into his own running back.
After that,
he was tackled by DeAndre Carter.
My defensive player of the year is number 94.
My
After
God.
that game, I mean, my heavens.